Well, hello, friends. Pro-life leader Frank Pavone here, National Director of Priests for Life, bringing you my daily diary. Today, I want to cover the days of Thursday, September 14th, Friday the 15th, Saturday the 16th, and Sunday, September 17th of 2023. Well, these were traveling days. I started out early in the morning on the 14th with some taping here at my office, as well as preparation of an email blast to go out to our supporters. And then was taken to the Orlando airport, had some conversations in the car with staff via phone, and then got to the airport, did some work on my email before boarding the plane, did some work on the plane to Atlanta. Then I got a connecting flight out to Phoenix, Arizona. Our executive director was also on this trip. We were going to a conservative meeting of leaders. Some of the emails I dealt with on the way working out these different things was to follow up on the video for the Catholic International Week of Prayer and Fasting that I made. I'm one of the presenters for that. Some input for our data department, some connection with a historical abortion museum project that I'm helping with, communication with Right Side Broadcasting Network, with the American Target Advertising that helps us with mailings. Some follow-up on pro-life leaders meetings, the 115 forum, and preparation for the next one. Various communications to our upper donors, an email blast for today about the Eucharist. There are special Eucharistic events taking place in the coming months, and so we're connecting that, of course, with pro-life activities. My column for Newsmax, I got that ready, preparing for the creation of a poll on abortion related to the elections, wrote a column for the Wanderer newspaper, and followed up with some contacts that I made when I was at the CareNet conference. This took us to Phoenix, and I was there, checked in to the conference, and began right away with some networking with people who were there, connecting back to the office as soon as we landed, as a matter of fact, on our way from the airport to the conference. I talked on the phone with one of our administrative personnel, Mark, got caught up for the day. And then we met up in the evening with one of our regional People for Silent No More awareness campaign there in Arizona, and had a dinner meeting with her together with our executive director, Janet, and together also we saw Jason Jones there and Joseph Lipp from Live Action, and Jason is with his own project, the Vulnerable People Project. Got some good conversation and updates from all of them. The next morning, Friday the 15th, I was there in this Arizona conference. The day began with a 6 a.m. Phone call with our friends out in Tyler, Texas at the office of Bishop Strickland, and caught up with some of our colleagues over there. I was doing work at my desk on email and various other things. Let's see some of the topics I had to deal with on the 15th. Oh, the upcoming Michigan Michigan March for Life that I'll be taking part in. Some preparation of promotion of pro-life books. So many books come out in the pro-life movement, and we always promote them, of course, to read. And also working on various ballot initiative fights where in various states the pro-abortion people are trying to, well, they're making a big mistake, trying to force the right to abortion into the state constitutions. So I did some work on that, but then got in right away to the business of the day. Our executive director and I met with another one of our Silent No More coordinators, Carol, there in Arizona. We had a good working breakfast meeting. After which we got involved in the events of the day with the conference. Now, this is an intensive day and a half meeting with conservative leaders, political leaders, business leaders, religious leaders, and we had many speakers, many workshops, discussions about the state of our country and public policy. So I participated in all those meetings all afternoon and into the evening. At 3 o'clock, Janet and I had a special meeting with our friends from American Target Advertising. We do some work with them to reach more and more people with the message about our mission and our organization. And we went right back into all these other meetings, concluding with a formal dinner in the evening with several hundred conservative activists and some powerful speakers. Lots of networking, lots of conversations on the side, and lots of support for our Priests for Life ministry. Saturday, September 16th was more of the same. In fact, the day started with an early breakfast buffet where we had the various members of the organization, of the gathering, rather, I should say, give reports about their own organization. So we had that. And then we had a special session. We participated in the morning presentations. And then a special session in which the Legacy of Life book, which I've talked to you about before, it honors 50 of the greatest pro-life leaders. I'm honored to be included in that book. It was presented in front of the entire gathering. And then from 12:30 to 1:30, we had a book signing. And I was sitting there at the table together with people like Richard Viguerie, who had written one of the essays. Steve Aiden from Americans United for Life was sitting next to me. He was one of the authors for one of the honorees as well. I was one of the honorees, and we were all signing the books that people who were attending this conference were purchasing. Jason Jones was there and various other people. It was really nice, and lots of encouragement, lots of affirmation for that honor. As the day went on, we had more sessions in the conference. I met up with Charlie Kirk's staff, and then with Charlie later on during one of the receptions. He was there as the banquet speaker. In fact, he mentioned me during his talk as someone who was being attacked by even the Pope. He said, I would like to have enemies like Father Frank has. And he was putting it in the context of people who were being canceled in various ways by the January 6th Committee, Department of Justice, and so forth. And he knows about, of course, as you do, the actions of the Vatican. But there were some important meetings in the afternoon as well. There was a Catholic caucus of the meeting that we were attending. And so we had about a dozen of us sitting around the table talking about matters of concern to Catholics. And I was giving input into matters relating to the elections and how we get our pro-life message out to voters. Followed immediately after that by Mass. The priest who said the Mass was a great friend of Priests for Life and gave me great encouragement there. Then after the Mass, we went to two receptions. One reception was for Jerry Johnson, who's running for Congress. Another one for Congressman Alex Mooney, who's running for the Senate. So we were in those meetings, listened to them speak, and then went into the concluding dinner of the conference where, as I mentioned, Charlie Kirk gave the talk, and there was a lot of networking going on. A couple of quick things I had to handle on my emails had to do with upcoming travels, follow up with the state of Ohio about the pro-abortion ballot initiative that we're trying to stop, and various other follow-up with staff. Sunday the 17th was my travel day back, but the day started with a 6 a.m. Meeting with one of my staff people. Of course, he was on Eastern time, so it was 9 a.m. for him. But he was doing some work in regard to preparation of upcoming trips, and I had a meeting with him to go over some details of my invitations and upcoming travels. That was from 6 to 6:30. 6:30, I had a quick breakfast. By 7, I was in the car going back to the airport with Janet to fly back to, first of all, Atlanta. Actually, she was flying off to California. So I went back to Atlanta, and then from Atlanta back to Orlando. On the plane, I did some work, but I also rested a lot because these days were quite exhausting. On the 17th, in the email work that I had to do with coordination of upcoming travels. Follow up with Congressman Trent Franks, with whom I had some nice conversations during the conference, and also some follow up regarding the Michigan March for Life, which is coming up. Did that work on the plane, rested on the plane, got back to my office somewhere around 10 o'clock at night, and went to bed. So those were the days from September 14th to 17th of 2023. I hope your work for the pro-life cause is going well. We're always by your side to assist, and we thank you for being by our side with your support of our ministry. Talk to you soon.